Live tonight for the new Smyrna Speedway, round 7 out of 15 points races in Season 4 of the Upstate Racing League Lake City RC Speedway Pro Late Model Series. Coming up with the MP Roy Inc. 150 from New Smyrna, 150 laps and 72 miles total. After we go through tonight's event, Evan Pasoko, PD Jay Zeller up at the LSRTV broadcast booth this evening. And PD, this is going to be a very entertaining race. Final race for these guys on the 2014 campaign. We got a couple of new faces in the field tonight from the American Canadian Tour, the late model league in real life. One of our in-race reporters, driver of the 48, Alex LeBay. He is the champion for 2014 for the ACT, so we got a lot of exciting stuff coming up tonight. And again, our final race before the off break. So a lot of these guys want to end off the 2014 campaign on a good note. Field already on the grid. Glad to have you with us on what is going to be a Thursday night short track doubleheader on LSRTV. We're going to run you down through the grid. Pole sitter going to be to the driver of the number 50 car. That is Casey Kelly. Alongside him on the front row, PD, going to be the driver of the 5. That's James Linkiewicz.
Yeah, starting in third tonight is the number 4 of Joshua Cotton, and starting in fourth tonight is the very festive for the holidays machine, the number 10 of Anthony Bunch.
Cody Kelly gonna roll off from 5th position, and 6th to Ryan Borges.
7th to Chris Cable, 8th to Cody Myers.
Justin Fuller, 9th position. Justin Brooks, P10. That's an interesting duo on row 5.
Starting 11th tonight is that SpongeBob machine, Christmas themed of Brandon Odo, last week's winner, and 12th, their in-race reporter, Fred Moreau.
Jeffrey Vard going to be starting 13th. 14th, Al Smith Jr., Cody Parker, Kevin Cremonesi, TJ Graves, Alex LeBay, Matt Swampson, Andre Bodoin, Brandon Smizer, Eric Haig, Brian Rogers Jr., Kevin Bacon, Zachary Mason, Zach Rengenball, Brandon Wilkinson, Dan Tabuk, Nicholas Rasmussen, and Jesse Switzer. Going to round out our field tonight. There's again the field already pacing 30 cars on track tonight for again 150 laps around this 4/8 of a mile speedway for 72 miles from the drop of the green flag down to the checkered flag. Glad to have you with us on LSRTV as we're getting set for the restart tonight. Again, Casey Kelly going to be in control of this field 5 car. Going to be on the outside. They are the front row. We ran you down through all the starters. Going to have a while to talk about some points and whatnot as we head off into the break here. Going to be a fun race. It's a tight setup. There's a lot of cars. There's not a lot of room. And we get set to go racing. Pace car ducked down. It's now on a safety pit road. Green flag in the air. And we're racing from the new Smyrna Speedway at a great restart for the 5 car of James Linkiewicz on the outside of the front row. Keeps it side by side with the 50 car of Casey Kelly. Kelly going to clear him for P1 out of 2.
Yeah, first battle on the racetrack is for 4th. We have that number 10 machine of Anthony on the outside. On the inside is the number 3 machine of Cody Kelly, Casey's brother. It looks like he's going to fall right in 9. That is Anthony Bunch in the 10. Things are going to get a little single file here throughout the field. Although Chris Cable putting a bump to Anthony Bunch here, so early move right now. And a big story coming into the race as they get close was that the points leader, Matt Wright, got stuck in a snowstorm in central Michigan. He cannot make the racetrack tonight. The first caution is out, so our points leader is not here.
Oh, we're piling them up on the front straightaway. A couple cars around the 12 of Brian Rogers facing the wrong direction on the front straightaway. Started up in front of them. It looks like it starts with the 51 of Justin Fuller, PD, who had the 57 car go to the bottom on him. That was Cody Myers trying to make a move. 57 went low. And it looks like the 51 just came down over the nose. 57 got checked up. The 24 car going to get some damage in that exchange. That's Brandon Otto. This incident started just at about P10. So when that 51 car got turned around, the 57 was in the fence as well. They essentially blocked the track. The 97 to 128, the 12 to 25, a whole handful of guys, PD, going to be caught up in collateral damage on that one. And a big wreck coming up on lap number 3 there to put us under our first caution flag of the evening.
Yeah, and just a tough break early in this race. So, last race before the big holiday break. Happy holidays to all you guys out there watching this. But with that said, these guys want to get a good run in before this happens. I believe we're off 2 weeks, 1 for Christmas and 1 for New Year's. So, certainly some time off. We had one of these earlier in the year. It was also 2 weeks. And we noticed the drivers got really antsy in the first race back, and they were antsy in the first race before. So, I expect to see the same thing tonight. Although right now, 1st and 2nd are 2 newcomers. Same with 4th. So 3 of the top 4 right now are newcomers of this league. Very interesting thing to note here, as we see a lot of interesting holiday paint schemes you'll see throughout the night. But we're in for a fun event tonight here, Evan.
Talk some track facts about the new Smyrna Speedway, located in Samsula, Florida. Capacity crowd of 8,000 people can pack into this facility that is owned by the Hart family. The track itself is an asphalt surface, again, at 0.8 kilometers per lap, or 0.48 miles, so just shy of a half-mile circuit. 4 turns, obviously, with a little bit of progressive banking. 18 degrees on that bottom lane, matched up with 20 degrees up against the outside wall. The new Smyrna Speedway plays host to the annual World Series of Asphalt Stock Car Racing, which is always a big event, as well as the Florida Governor's Cup 200 Super Late Model Race. So very exciting, a lot of that stuff as well.
Yeah, very exciting. Speaking of exciting, we're getting ready for another restart. But as I was saying before the caution came out, that our points leader's not here tonight. Evan, do you think these guys will race with an added incentive, knowing that the points leader isn't here and he's somewhere in central Michigan stuck in that hailstorm?
Caution going to be delayed. It is Matthew Bright who sits with 4 points over Justin Brooks, 6 points over Brandon Odo, which, I mean, sure, you can pass it, but that's irrelevant. We come out of tonight, we have a break, 3 races to go. At that point, before we hit the chase, we're going to be going in January, back-to-back-to-back weeks from South Boston, Martinsville, and Iowa. At that point, Peter, the top 12 drivers are going to be cut down. Then we have the chase. That's where everybody's got to be looking. So, although the points leader is not here tonight, Matthew Wright sitting with 66 points over that 12th position cutoff, and would have to lose 74 in these next 4 weeks to drop out of a qualifying position for the chase. So don't find it to be that big of a storyline per se, but Justin Brooks, Brandon Odo, or even Justin Fuller, depending on how the nights go, will definitely not complain if they lead when it's all said and done. Coming up for our first restart off of a caution flag, pace car dead away, 5 car on the accelerator, and has to check up because the 50 was in control, so James Linkowick is going to lead us down to 1 and 2, and Casey Kelly, as supposed to be on the restart, takes the bottom lane. The 50 car going to go to the lead side-by-side for second.
Yeah, James Linkowitz and Joshua Cotton racing there for the second position. Linkowitz going to have a good run on the outside. We'll see him later tonight in the Sauer All-Star race. He is clear of the 4 of Joshua Cotton, so give it to Linkowitz. As on the outside of him, we have the number 3 of Cody Kelly, Casey's brother, the fastest brothers in iRacing, as they like to call himself, as Cody's going to try to pass Joshua Cotton on the outside. This is one of the few short tracks that have multi-grooves on iRacing, so we can see both the grooves work tonight. Very interesting thing, as Cody Kelly will get clear of Joshua Cotton. And that'll make the first 10 of Anthony Bunch around. He's turned by his teammate, Brandon Odo, and another car collected, and his motor has some severe damage. Anthony Bunch, the Christmas Spectacular machine, is damaged here, Evan.
And that came after contact with his teammate, the 10 of Anthony Bunch and the 24 of Brandon Odo. Up on the outside lane, inside of them was Borges and Brooks. And it looks like Justin Brooks entered the corner a little bit late. Did not quite make that arc. Got into the 10. 10 got sideways. Brandon Odo with nowhere to go. Turned that 10 car around, and it was heavy contact on behalf of the 49 of Jeff Rivard to get into that number 10 machine. The 49 obviously went down to the grass. Nobody else got into him. It was Anthony Bunch who spun up to the outside wall and has heavy, thick black smoke pouring out of the back of that number 10 Chevrolet entry. So he's been forced to bring that iRacing memes machine down to pit road for obviously extensive service, and may actually be out of this race at a very early point. Again, currently working on lap number 13 out of 150 tonight in our round 7. Again, 7th points race, 8th on the year, but again, the season opener was a quote test and tune. It was kind of a preseason Thunder race, so it is the MP Roy Incorporated 150 tonight for the new Smyrna Speedway. And again, still a lot of action to come, working under a caution flag. Got some wave rounds going around, and while we had this caution break, want to talk about those points that we kind of briefly mentioned. Matthew Wright, again, up at the top of points. Brooks, Odo, Fuller, Rasmussen, Parker, O'Neill, Borges, Bunch, and Cotton. Those are our top 10 drivers. 10th through 15th is really going to be the places that you got to look at, because with that top 12 being the cutoff for the chase, you got guys like Al Smith Jr. and Chris Cable, both of them sitting at this point about 11 and 12 points in, respectively, over the 13th place car, Michael Sweeney, who obviously will find himself probably about actually 8 points to the negative on Chris Cable. You got Dan DeBuke, Cody Myers, those guys not too far behind as well, Petey. So if you're a guy like a Sweeney or a Dubuque, you almost have to hope that Chris Cable and Al Smith Jr. have some troubles. If that 05 of Cable's running top 5, it's going to be pretty hard to pass him in points.
Another machine that has a slight glimmer of hope, talking to him for the race, the 98 of Eric Haig, mentioned to me that he thinks his team still has a shot. I really want to bring him up because he's running by far my favorite paint scheme of the season. He dressed his car up in an ugly sweater for the night, inspired by the RSR race you may have seen on Monday, so that 98 machine is definitely getting festive here. But in all seriousness, the normally sponsored by Haig TV machine would say, if you talk to him, that his chase hopes aren't over. He thinks he can get up there, but as you said, it will be hard to get by the 05 of Chris Cable, who's been running good, or Al Smith, the veteran who always can get the job done, as we have 1 to green here, Evan. And Casey Kelly's going to leave him down in another restart, but the points battle is tight here at Upstate.
I just had my first attempt to take a good look at that quote-unquote ugly Christmas sweater number 98. Restart here going to be delayed for 1 lap as everybody gets cycled back out here. So we got a couple of guys at the tail end of the field. They're completing wave rounds, just trying to catch back up to the field, so still some of those positions need to be corrected. But the restart this time going to be coming up to take lap number 18 as we work lap 17 now. White lights back off, rather, on top of the iRacing Ford First Mustang pace car. Casey Kelly going to be in control of the field again once again, but the 5 of James Lincoln has attempted to predict those starts or get an advantage on the 50, and it almost cost him a penalty last time because he left the 50 car, had to slam the brakes to allow Kelly's machine to get back around him. So going to be interesting to see what kind of approach that number 50 Chevrolet takes to this next restart, knowing that that 5 car is going to be trying to predict it. Pace car down and away, 50 in control, hesitates 1-2 seconds on the loud, put a green flag back in the air, and we're racing once again for the New Smyrna Speedway. Casey Kelly clear for first, the 5 clear for second. Third place is going to go to Cody Kelly. He's trying to bring the 05 Chris Cable with him, slides up the 4 car, going to fight back at the outside. That's Joshua Cotton. Now you see the 32 Orion Borges to the outside.
Yeah, but right now the best battle is between Cotton and Cable. Cable is trying to get by Cotton. Both these drivers are chase drivers at the moment, so they're going to be extra careful racing around each other. This is actually just a whole big pack. Caution is out on the racetrack. We have a wreck. The 49 machine of Jeff Rivard is around back here. I'm going to try to get a good look at that incident, as it appears though Jeff Rivard was racing hard with the number 40 machine. The 40 got into his quarter panel, sent him around. Nicholas Rasmussen was able to miss it. The 199 not as lucky. Everyone did a really good job checking up for that. Just a little incident there, as we are under yet another caution here from New Smyrna. So some drivers being extremely aggressive early, creating these caution laps.
Yeah, the 40 just got in there too hot, slid up the hill, and took out the number 49 Monster Energy entry of Jeff Rivard. The 199, the Travis Pastrana-inspired number on the Zach Regenbaum machine, collected, as well as, I do believe, Cody Myers on the bottom lane. No, the 57 Cody Myers was able to get through. It was the 61 of Dan DeBuke and the 52 of Jesse Switzer, who had gotten a little piece of damage trying to get through on the inside lane. Back under yellow, going to step away real quick for our first commercial break. You're watching the Upstate Racing League Season 4, the Lake City RC Speedway Pro Late Model Series, MP Roy Inc. 150.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com. Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing features.
Back live in trouble for the number 22 car. Hard in the outside wall is Mr. Excitement. It's TJ Graves' machine after contact earlier on in this lap that saw Ryan Borges go the wrong direction. The 22 car had a bobble at a 4, came up, hooked the 41 car around, and when was slowing down for the yellow, got run over by the 40 machine, the 77, 52, the 95 involved, and a big incident down there in quarter number 1. Heavy black smoke pouring for the back of the number 22 double clutch entry of TJ Graves. So pretty quickly back to a caution flag period, and hearing that the league administrator Al Smith Jr. has got $100 that this thing only has 5 or less cautions. We're sitting at 4 right now, so he's not my preferred pick to go to Vegas with at this point.
Whew. He's going to be losing some severe cash tonight, folks. I mean, unless these guys decide to go for 120-something laps green, but it's been a rough start to this event. Very, very disappointing to see the 22 of TJ Graves, or as we like to call him, Mr. Excitement. Tough break for him, always a fun driver to watch, one of the best short track races in iRacing. Just has such awful luck sometimes, so we're going to see that machine not finish the event tonight. We were just talking about, actually, he has a very awful luck streak on LSRTV. I don't think we've ever seen him finish a race here, but racing with him outside of the broadcasted stuff, he's just fantastic. So he just must not do good in front of TV cameras, Evan, and it's always a heartbreaker to watch TJ Graves wreck.
Gonna do it for the first time, our in-race reporter, driver of the number 48 machine, Alex Labby. Gonna try to get him on the radio. Alex, you got a copy? Alex, it's Evan Pasoko, PDJ Zeller at the LSRTV booth. Get a copy?
Yeah, 10-4.
Well, we're still young into this race. We've had a handful of yellows, and being our in-race reporter tonight and have some experience in these cars, going to be at this track not too long from now, but you're one of the guys moving forward. Started 18th, you sit 8th right now. How is it getting through all this traffic so far?
Yeah, I just got to take my time. There's a lot of traffic, like you said, and there's a lot of crashes, and I've been lucky enough to get through them. No damage on the car, so I think I'm gonna be good. I screwed a little bit in qualifying, but pretty sure I got a fast car. Yeah, we'll see on the long run, but it's gonna be a strategy thing too with the tires lately in the race. So I don't know. I think it's looking good.
Cautions here are very quick, so we're going to try to talk to you periodically throughout the night. Before we let you get back to the team radio here, getting set for a restart, any shout-outs you want to throw out there?
Sorry, I didn't hear well.
We're going to be going back green here. Alex, you got any shout-outs? We're going to let him get back to his team radio here, PD. Lights are off on the pace car up at the front of the field, and now the caution's going to be delayed, so that's just our luck in that regard. But going to be going around one extra time here, PD, and our in-race reporter tonight is the 2014, again, just talked to him, Alex Labby, the American-Canadian Tour champion with these late models, going to be actually racing at New Smyrna Speedway in a couple months.
Yeah, so that's going to be very, very exciting to watch him do that. Very exciting times for Alex Labby and his crew. He's running 8th right now in this event, like you said. His first start with this league, or at least this series, so Alex Labby doing a phenomenal job so far, up to 8th. Only moving forward on the inside of him will actually be Brandon Odo, last week's winner. Odo's had a rough start to this event, but he's always been contender, damage or not. I expect to see Brandon Odo get back to the front before it's all said and done, Evan. And we're getting ready here for another restart. It looks like Casey Kelly is going to be leading them down again with James Linkowitz. So we're seeing more and more excitement as the night goes on.
Coming up for a restart, $100 on the line from Al Smith Jr.'s pocket as the pace car dives down to pit road, back in the air. It's a green flag. 50 car, Casey Kelly off and away. The 5 car is going to be able to get second. The 05 Chris Cable tries to get third. He's going to be working the outside as Cody Kelly works the bottom. It is the number 3 Comfort Products Dream Chevrolet down on the bottom lane. Can't quite get clear yet. That's the first battle on track.
Yeah, first battle on track is indeed a good one. They're racing side by side here from the Albert Tight New Smyrna Raceway. As we talked about earlier, it is a good track for double file racing. Unlike many other speedways we see on iRacing, that battle simmers down. You have to go all the way back to around 12 to see the first battle on the racetrack between Kevin Baker and Zach Regimal, and that will settle out. So this racing really starting to figure itself out here. No side by side. Everyone's getting good and spread out here, as top 3 are all new drivers to this league: Casey Kelly, James Linkowitz, and Cody Kelly. So we have a brothers in first and third. And I know I haven't been doing this for very long, Evan, and I don't know about you, but I've never seen 2 brothers run up in the top 3 together like this.
It would be something to see if the Kelly family can take the top 2 spots on the track. Right now, it looks like a lot of single file. So by request here, everybody kind of calming down a little bit. First side-by-side battle back at about 20th. And it's essentially a lap down battle. Eric Hag is riding around just behind Ryan Borges. Borges is a lead lap car, so it's not for position. They were side by side at 32. Borges goes to the bottom on 52. That's another lap car after, again, he nearly got turned in 3 and 4 and saved it. And then the caution flew the next time the field went through 1 and 2. Borges lost a lot of time after starting this race in 6th, trying to get back up through the field, but sits right now in 16th. Side by side up inside the top 10, the 05 machine under attack. Chris Cable has the 4 car. That's the John Deere machine. Up at the outside, Joshua Cotton trying to get around him. Almost clear in 3 and 4. Can't quite get that job done yet.
And chain for position number 2. Give it to Cody Kelly. We have a Kelly brother first, second right now, so the Kelly family is getting it down right now as the Tobaccoville USA 50 and the Ream Chevrolet number 3 are first and second here. James Linkowitz is going to fall back to third. No immediately side-by-side battles on the racetracks we go through the field. First one's going to be between Justin Fuller and Kevin Baker, but Fuller is a few laps down here. He is 4 laps down with a very damaged machine, so this isn't for position. So really, there's no battle for positions right now. It's just going to be to see if Cody can catch his brother Casey here, as really everything's very calm right now in the speedway, something we haven't had to say a lot tonight, because New Smyrna with its multi-groove racing always gives us quite a show, and it's been fun to watch these very heavy, fast late models battle around here. But we should be able to see Cody catch his brother Casey here soon, Evan.
That gap right now sits at 9/10 of a second. A lot of single file, but not to say that they're all spread out. A lot of bumper to bumper through this pack, but this is what a lot of the drivers wanted to see. With 18 cars on a lead lap, everybody single file out and knocking off laps. If we're green, these guys are going to be able to get 3 laps done in just under a minute's time, as they're averaging about 19.1 second lap times for the guys at the back of the pack. Our leader's actually going much faster at 18.3 seconds per lap is Casey Kelly. Cody, who sits second, closing in a little bit, knocks a 10th off the gap that last time by. Scoring cycles through this time through, going to lose a little bit of time, so that's fluctuating. The 95 car going to be passed in that exchange. That is Brandon Smizer. He's going to go 2 laps down now as he yields high in the JD Marketing entry. So PD, right now at this race, and it happens all the time, so we can't really say we're surprised by it, the trend that these races take, the fact that they'll start and you'll get those, the trend of the caution flags, a bunch of them back to back to back. And it's not like they progressively, the green flag runs get longer. All of a sudden, you get this huge green flag run out of nowhere. Got to quickly adjust your mentality almost behind the wheel there, as you don't really have a lot of time to transition from approaching this race, making quick, short, 2-3 lap stints now to a long green flag run where tire conservation would be key. The 95 of Brandon Smizer, he's down on pit road, and he is now taking it behind the wall. So the 95 car with some damage once he lost 2 laps has brought that thing behind the wall. His night is done.
Odo and Linkowitz make contact. I was just about to comment on that good battle, but oh no, Linkowitz going to fall back. Inside of him is Joshua Cotton. One thing I should note right now, with Linkowitz being in the top 5 as they sit right now, 4 out of the top 5 cars, with the exception of Brandon Odo, are all team cars. both the Kelly brothers, Brooks and Linkowitz, work together as we have a side-by-side battle here for 5th with Linkowitz and Cotton. And Linkowitz is going to get turned around. Linkowitz is around. The 48 is going to barely tap him a little bit. Caution's out on the racetrack, as I was just commenting on how 4 of the 5 teammates are in the top 5. That comes to an end quick. And it's going to be... Oh, another car went around too. The 199 went around. So we had a multi-car incident here. And as the replay will go up, it appears, as we just saw James Linkowitz battling with Joshua Cotton there. Very hard for the 5th position. It just went bad there. It looks like Cotton got into the corner a little hot there, and Linkowitz didn't give him too much room, and that just sent them both around. Was very close there. Linkowitz went around, and 48 made very slight contact with him, and the 199 just got turned checking up there, Evan.
Yeah, so the 5 car gets turned around, and it was, again, a car behind all that, the 199, who, working a little bit of damage, actually got some pretty significant contact into the outside wall, as everybody was trying to check up for that initial incident, which happened not too far in front of that 199. Getting on the brakes, got hooked around, and actually, again, pretty hard as he tried to correct that thing back up into the outside retaining wall. So caution flag does fly for what will be, I guess, unofficially a 2-car incident. And just like that, we are at the 1/3 mark in this race. There's already been a lot of shuffling. Even though this race is still young, we got a lot of drivers down on pit road. Most of them, though, not on the lead lap. We do have some of our lead lap cars exiting pit road, coming in for service. A lot of guys obviously needing damage repair, PD, but I mean, a third of the way through this race, surprising that Justin Brooks, well, not surprising, but started 10th. He's up to 3rd. 5th place, Brendan Odo started 11th. Andre Beaudoin starts in 20th. He's 5th right now. So a lot of drivers really moving up through the field.
Yeah, as these drivers do come up through the field, it's going to be interesting to watch their strategies. New driver in the top 5 is Eric Haig. Not top 5, top 10. He's 8th, just got the wave around, so lucky break for the Haig machine there, rocking the Christmas sweater. Always like to keep up on our special little friend there. But right now the top 3 is going to be the teammates, Kelly, and Brooks. And I think the Kelly's brother party might get spoiled by the Brooks machine, who we've seen be very dominant all season long, Evan. But don't count out Brandon Odo, a 2-time winner this season. Ties Brooks for most wins this season, and Odo certainly knows how to get to victory lane. He is just a fantastic driver to watch, and he always makes the racing exciting up front here from the Upstate Racing League.
I want to take this opportunity under the caution flag to thank the title sponsor for this series, the Lake City RC Speedway. Nestled in the outskirts of Plattsburgh, New York, the Lake City RC Speedway provides short track action for 1/10 scale RC cars. The track is located at 6155 Route 22 North in Plattsburgh, New York. The track has been in business for 13 years and provides a great atmosphere for racers from all over the Northeast. The track features 2 major events, the Autumn Blast of the Fall, as well as the Jeff Sears Memorial Race in early spring. Lake City RC Speedway, title sponsor of Upstate Racing Season 4. Lights on for pace car. Another restart coming up, and same old song and dance. Casey Kelly going to be in control of the field. He's got a newcomer, though. His brother outside front row. Green flag in the air. Great start with 50 car. Going to be side by side for 3rd. Should be no issue for the 3 of Cody Kelly to hang on the 2nd. It is, but it's going to be Brooks and Odo side by side. 24 rather. Gets forced up the hill a little bit. He'll slide back to P4.
Yeah, back to P4 he will go, and we just have some good battling going on around the racetrack. As always on these restarts, the Kelly brothers will remain in the league. Closest battle right now is Brooks versus Odo. That's been a great battle all season. We thought it was going to be the Justin and Justin show, but for a lot of the season it's been the Justin and Brandon show, that being Justin Brooks. So Brooks is right there hanging in there with him, and Cody Myers is there also. So pretty single foul till we get back to Ryan Borges in the 32, battling for 10th with number 48 of Alex Labby. Give it to Borges this time. He'll be P9 at the stripe, barely. So that's really the first and only battle on the racetrack right now, Evan.
Side by side, just outside of the top 10, it is the 51 car who's up at a high side. Justin Fuller, 4 laps down, who's making all the passes on our lead lap cars. At the bottom, James Linkowitz lost a couple of spots the last time around. He sits 12th right now. Side by side battle with some lead lap cars. Alex Labby up at an outside lane. That's the iRacing.com Chevrolet. Side by side with Ryan Borges. We get a caution. Trouble going to be just behind these guys. 1 car up at the outside retaining wall. Zachary Mason, the number 25 Chevrolet, got turned around, and he had some help from 199.
199 just came up the racetrack, actually really came up the racetrack on the side of that 25 machine, sending Zachary Mason around, as you will see the replay on that one. He just kind of kept in the outside wall. No one else collected. Just a quick little spin there, so that will bring out the caution. And I think Al Smith has actually lost $100, I'm hearing, Evan.
Yeah, so that bet did not pay off for Al Smith Jr., as we've had a handful of cautions so far in this race. So Casey Kelly leads this race. Cody Kelly sits third. And we got 17 guys on lead lap right now. A couple of drivers 10th on back coming down pit road this time too. I know Andrea Bodoin is down pit road. It appears that Linkowicz is well. Dan DeBook, Kevin Baker. Shout out to the 61 Rent-A-Wreck machine of Dan DeBook's got our title sponsor for tonight's race on the hood of that car. Again, MP Roy Incorporated, the 150 tonight for the new Smyrna Speedway, making everything possible on this Thursday evening. Brandon Wilkinson is down pit road as well. And Petey, we've talked about it a little bit. We got a lot of festive schemes out here tonight. Some of them are already back at a garage, but it is our final race with the Upstate Racing League on the 2014 campaign. Next race going to be coming up in January, Thursday, January the 8th at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, as always on LSRTV for points race 8 of 15. The Kings 200 from the South Boston Speedway. Sobo's always an exciting racetrack.
Yeah, it is. And I cannot wait for Sobo. One of my personal favorite racetracks, a lot like this one. Sobo is a multi-groove racetrack. Surprisingly, it's an old track. Iris made it a while ago. It's one of their only older tracks that does provide multi-groove racing, so we'll be able to see that. That should be fun. One thing to note, though, is Casey Kelly. You might be wondering, where did this guy come from, new to the league? Why is he doing so well? Well, he's a very, very good short track racer in iRacing Official Series, but last week, you may remember, he won the pole for the event, and he actually dominated the first 20 or so laps, and then his screen froze, and he got disconnected, and he never returned to the race. So, really, Casey Kelly has led all the laps he's attempted in this league, and, I mean, I know Brooks wanted to bring his teammates over here, but right now, the two guys he brought over here are beating the Evans. That might not be panning out as he hoped.
Yeah, sometimes it may be coming back and biting you in the back end for bringing some new talent over, and the talent just so happens to be doing a little bit better than you out there on the racetrack, which is an interesting thing to see. Lights going to go back on top of the pace car as we are doubled up. Going to delay this for one more circuit round, Pete, again, get everybody an opportunity to get all caught back up. But this race now, again, past the 1/3 mark, and once we got green, I mean, really, all those laps almost flew out the window very quickly, got knocked off here. So we're only about 13 laps away for the halfway point in this race. So although there is still a lot of laps left in the race, you can't just hang out anymore, because starting to get down to the point where you really need to work with the track position that you've gotten. The strategy is not really going to be able to get you anywhere else. What you've done in these opening segments of the race, although some people might come into this with a more relaxed approach in these first few laps, is going to put you into a position that's going to dictate, what you're going to be able to do here come these final laps. The 24 car makes this random, mysterious right-hand turn to the outside wall as we go into 3 like he has the last few times. Pace car down the way. Casey Kelly out of gas. Goodbye. Green flag in the air. Look at Justin Brooks to the inside on the 3 car. Actually backs out of it to let Cody Kelly in line. That holds up the 24. Brandon Odo. And Odo going to cross him over to the inside.
Odo says, if you want to let your teammates in, that's okay, but I'm going to take your position. And he actually will not take his position there because Brooks could hold him off on the outside. I've said it, I think, too many times, but this is a multi-groove racetrack. Ryan Borges is going to be battling on the outside of Brandon Odo. Can Brandon Odo hang on? Odo has some hard trouble, though. Here comes Borges. Chris Cable thinking about taking a 3 wide, thinks better. So Borges, with that big donut on the left side of his car, is going to try to hang on here. And he has a good run on the outside. He's keeping it about equal with him, so the SpongeBob Christmas Adventure Machine holding tough on the inside right now. Very, very unique to see him hang on the inside. It seems like the outside might be a little more dominant tonight. This is surprising to me because I thought the lanes were going to be equal. But we're seeing Ryan Borges get done. Remember, this is a fixed setup league. No step advantage. We see another caution out on the racetrack. It's the 5 machine of James Linkowicz, the other teammate to the top 3, who he's getting the short end of the stick tonight. As the replay goes up, it looks as though the 12 ran the middle line, and Linkowicz thought he was going to run a lower line. Brought his left rear tire right into his right front tire, and Linkowitz's car just went around. No one else really collected. Linkowicz just went for a quick little spin across the racetrack and landed on the apron. Everyone missed him. good job to everyone missing him, but that's going to bring out yet another caution here from New Smyrna as James Linkowitz has trouble.
Gonna be the 7th yellow on tonight. Looks like it was actually triggered by the 51 car who was on the bottom. We got checked up being a lap machine with some damage, and because of that, 12 kind of took a little bit of a different entry into the quarter, and that sequence of events is what forced that 12 car to go a little bit higher. 5 car got involved, obviously got turned around. Could have easily included a couple more cars, but nonetheless, it's going to be essentially a 1-car incident, and next thing you know, it is Ryan Borges who's in the top spot because Casey Kelly, Cody Kelly, both down pit road. Petey, what do you think about that call?
Like it. Halfway through the race, you can see here that you can make your way through the field. Very easy to pass racetrack. The cars are clearly better. Their tires are going to be fresher, and their driving skill right now is extraordinary. So expect to see the Kelly machine and Brooks charge back to the front here, and they didn't even lose too many positions doing this strategy call, as I like to call it. I'm going to look at where they're going to round out, and I'm trying to see. Not showing up on the scoring board yet, trying to find them. And actually, Brandon Oda was the first one off pit road. He will show up in the 10th position. So very, very interesting. The Kelly brothers, actually, Casey was the last one off. He's going to fall back to 15th, followed by Justin Brooks and Cody Kelly. So 13th to 15th are them drivers. Should be interesting to watch them three charge back to the front, Evan.
Another car that was down pit road, had an opportunity to talk to him earlier. A race reporter that we're going to try to keep tabs on as the night goes. Driver of the 48, Alex Labbe, has experience in the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series as well as the ACT Series and a past series. Both those last two featuring super late models. So the late model tonight in his own element. We talked to MPD and said he was confident with the car. He picked up 10 positions at that point. The 48, though, has come down pit road quite a few times tonight. So this race, I do feel, is going to have a lot of strategy play a factor into it. But again, a lot of the drivers in here, new faces, a lot of them from that ACT series, the American Canadian Tour with the super late models as well. Labbe, being the driver of the 48, is the 2014 champion. So it's nice to see, obviously, Petey, the new names around, but some of our regulars not too happy about it because it's shuffled them, back out through the pack a little bit. More than they would have enjoyed. But it's good to see, some people for the real world side of things be able to come over here, people that have experience in these cars and at this track in real life, and see how they will stack up compared to some of the ringers here in the Upstate Racing League for the sim side of things. Restart going to be coming up just shy, about 3 laps short of halfway point. Ryan Borges, for the first time, going to be in control of the field. The JD Marketing, number 32, Chevrolet Camaro, takes the green flag. Great restart from Chris Cable, the Craftsman machine, able to hang on to the outside lane. We're side by side for first, and also neck and neck for third behind them. Give it to Borges. 05 tucks in line behind.
Yeah, and the former team of Joshua Cotton going to hang on hard on the outside of Cody, formerly known as Chalmers Parker, as Cody, formerly known as Chalmers, will get clear, and they're followed by Joshua Cotton and the 57 Cody Myers racing side by side. So Cody wants his chance at Cody Parker at the Cody and Cody show, as they're going to try to get up there. Myers, though, has a hard problem on the outside from Joshua Cotton. He is trying very hard to keep him down low, and he's going to do a little nice move there, try to get a run off the corner, and it will work. Very good run by Cotton. His car is spotless so far in this race, but he's going to lose position to a very, very, let's say, worn-in machine of Cody Myers. Almost, Myers is able to hold on to the position for another lap as we see the fast guys starting to make their way through the field. Evan, they're already up into the top 10, passing cars left and right.
Joshua Cotton's car may weigh less with the lack of sheet metal on the back end of it, so he's moving forward. He's back up to 5th after starting 3rd. 79, Kevin Baker took a beat to the inside on Joshua Cotton and nearly stuffed himself in the fence. We've got a lot of single file right now through 3 and 4. We got one car around here on the back straightaway. I saw somebody up in the outside fence, no yellow. And so we're going to stay green. Hearing it was the Swanson entry, but does not go around, so we stay under green flag conditions. That is the 40 car who was sitting a lap down. Now we got more trouble, so the 40 was around, and now Brandon Wilkinson, driver of the 56 machine, has some incidents as well. But all of this keeping us green flag conditions, top 2 pulling away from the field, and it is Chris Cable who is on the attack, trying to find a way around that JD Marketing 24 Design Chevrolet of Ryan Borges.
Yeah, and I'm watching this very nerve-wracking battle between the guys trying to make their way through the field. Brooks and Odo. Oh, that's tight. They're going to try to take a 3 wide with Andre Bowden, and they think better of that one, thankfully. That's really the first battle on the racetrack right now. Here we go. Brooks diving underneath Bowden again. They know they're faster than Bowden. Oh, and Brandon Odo gets Bowden loose. And oh, big pop pilot back here. Everyone hangs on, though. And what Brandon Odo just did is he opened the hole for Brooks' team, and everyone went through, and Odo got the short end of the stick. So Odo just helped out his biggest rivals in this race, and now they're moving their way through the field fast.
Yeah. At the moment there, yeah, Otto, PD, you were talking about it, the 51 car got into him, and then 24 gave him a shot back, not happy that the car that got into him is a machine that is 4 laps down in 20th position. So Odo slides back to what's going to be P12. The 51 in front of him is still racing lead lap cars, although he's 4 laps down, gave a tap to 97. So whatever lap Justin Fuller on is irrelevant, that he nearly spun it out, sayings on to it. Good thing that he did not get run over by Brandon Odo. Stay in green, Petey, but a lot of people have had some close calls. Leaders are checking out 1.5 to the good over third on back.
Yeah, Chris Cable wants to find a way around Ryan Borges. I feel as if he does, he is going to be saying good night, field. He's going to be gone until obviously the Kelly and Brooks machines get back up there. Speaking of that pass, here comes Chris Cable to the low side, thinks better of it, will not try to pass Borges this time by. We are getting ever closer to the 2/3 mark with just what will be 50 laps to go. And look at this little posse of cars. Brooks, Kelly, and Kelly. They're going to pass the 79. They're driving in a perfectly formed line right now. They're passing cars almost like a little posse here. So they're going to pass the 79 of Kevin Baker as they will go to the low side here. And they're going to, they're freight training them. This is just so odd to watch. These cars are all equal in speed, and they're equally flying through the field right now, Evan.
The 50 car going through the bottom lane, going to get through and clear. 79 trying to hang on up high to 5 now. James Linkiewicz going to get to the inside, and what we would assume is to take that position. He'll get through and very easily clear through 3 and 4, so he's going to be able to move back up through. But our leaders starting to pull away, and Ryan Borges actually starting to pull away. PD was the Craftsman Chevrolet of Chris Cable, who was essentially all over the back bumper of that 32 of Ryan Borges. And now Borges, although it's not a lot of room, you know, he likes these late models, won the All-American 400 for back-to-back years in the super lates. Later on, or rather earlier on in this 2014 campaign, that was on LSRTV as well. So Borges not no stranger to short tracks, big tracks as well. And he's starting to pull away a little bit. Has about 1.5 car lengths to the good in that JD Marketing 24 Design Chevrolet. PD, after starting in 6th position, right now our biggest mover, Cody Parker, in 3rd. Started 15th, sits 3rd on the racetrack, as I said right now. Already 2 seconds back, though. The top 2 are setting a blistering pace as we close in on lap 90.
That looks like Cody Myers is going to pull over for the other machines here. He's just pulling over for the 333 and 50. It's funny watching them come to the field. Everyone's just kind of letting them go. It seems as though they almost know they're faster, so they're letting them go. As now Brooks is up to 4th position. He is going to try to make his way back up front. Borges cannot be too comfortable right now because Chris Cable's right there. But after Cable, you're going to have Brooks, Kelly, and Kelly. That charge is going to be coming to the front quick. Fresh tires, best cars on the track this whole race. And they just seem to be out driving everyone right now. So they might have a little trouble getting around Cody Parker. He might not be as nice as the other drivers, but when they do, Ryan Borges and Chris Cable better hope they have a big enough lead because they're going to get there quick, Evan.
Yeah, everybody's just kind of getting out of the way. They don't want to get run over. They feel that might happen if they try to delay what could be the inevitable. Leaders pulled away from Cody Parker continuously. Once we see these guys cycle through, and actually the 05 of Chris Cable in the Craftsman machine attempted to lead the lap and was unable to do so, so tucks in back behind Ryan Borges. But these people aren't really putting up much of a challenge. Leaders working through some lap traffic. Justin Brooks, not the first time tonight that the 33 car's been sideways. He pushed up and got into the 41 of Cody Parker. We'll try to overtake him for 3rd. Going to take another shot at it. About 4 cars going at it for the 3rd spot. 33 back to the bottom.
Cody Parker let them drivers come underneath him, and now he's racing them hard and aggressive. I don't know why he did that. He just let them inside as though he's going to let him go, and now he's racing them like, hey, I want that position. So, and he's going to get into the wall, and that will give Justin Brooks clear, and now the Kelly brothers, I'm sure, will not be too patient with him as the first Kelly, Cody Kelly, is going to get clear, and now the second, Casey Kelly, is going to try to get clear. I believe he'll be able to, and yes, he is clear, so this little posse of cars is flying through this field right now, and they have 2 more cars left to pass before they can take back their team 1, 2, 3 position, as Ryan Borges is pulling a little bit away from Chris Cable, but he has trouble brewing in his mirror.
Yeah, that now that Justin Brooks has gotten through to third, we're going to be able to really see the differentials in the 33, picking up a 1/10 of a second the last time by to the LARealty.com Chevrolet SS of Justin Brooks, who again sits third, has to work around the lap traffic machine, the 95 of Brandon Smizer, who is at the moment 10 laps down in 21st position. That JD Marketing 95 has had a rough night, so you can imagine that he's going to stay high. He will, and he'll yield to the 33 car, who's going to be able to get through and clear down on that inside lane. Side-by-side battle for what's going to be P11. The 79 of Kevin Baker goes all the way up to the fence as Alex Labby going to be able to get through on the bottom in the iRacing.com Chevrolet. So 79 letting that 48 car go without challenge. That was for 9th position. Those guys going to single file things out for the moment. More side-by-side now for 12th, actually 14th position, sorry. The 97 of Andre Bodo is on the outside lane, and on the inside the challenge from the 600 Dan Dubuque trying to make that pass.
So that's a good battle right there. Dan Dubuque trying to hang on to his position there. Does not want to get past by Eric Hag, who's a lap down, and he wants to take one from Andre Boudon. So he's definitely going to try to do that. One car I'd like to note is the 24 of Brandon Odo is catching James Linkowitz. He had a moment earlier, and he's passing James Linkowitz, so Odo took a rough turn, but Linkowitz just let him go there, so we're seeing a lot of respectful racing going on, but with Brooks and his gang catching the 2 leaders at around a 1/10 to 2/10 per lap here, this time by he caught him 2/10, so it's starting to get 2/10 a lap here, Evan, they're catching the leaders. And they're going to pass Chris Cable. Chris Cable's had a big moment, and so they're going to be up to 2nd, 3rd, and 4th here, Evan. I mean, they're just flying through this field. Do you think Borges is going to have any fighting chance at maybe even thinking about holding them off when they get to him?
Absolutely not. There are way too many laps left. There's still 47 laps to go. Even if they get a caution, I don't think Ryan Borges can pit at this point, because if you get a caution, I feel like we're going to get back into that, the trend of cautions breeding cautions, and he won't be able to get back through the field in time. And there's a caution, so we'll find out. Yellow flag. Going to fly trouble out of back. Straight away, the 51 is turned around. The 61 as well. But Justin Fuller appears to be the car that started this incident. The 51 had a self-spin at a quarter number 2, backed it into the wall, locked it up, and getting turned around was the 61 of Dan Dubuque after he hit the brakes, got run over from behind by the Eric Hag machine, who didn't have much time to react. 61 got turned down to the inside wall. Caution flag back out once again, and I was talking about a little bit of strategy. We're going to find out how that works. PDA, you were talking about the 05 had an incident as well. Chris Cable got sideways. He was able to recover, but does slide back to 4th.
Yeah, and I think Ryan Borges is probably his best shot to possibly win this event is now down the drain. Although, we're going to see them fake him into pit road, so they're actually just going to take over the lead under pit stops here. So give it to Brooks, Kelly, and Kelly. They're going to be your top 3 here. Also, I think they got Linkowitz to stay out with them maybe. Let me check and confirm that one. No, Linkowitz did come down pit road. So I'm thinking that these are the only 3 machines that will stay out. And yeah, these are the only 3 machines that stayed out. So Evan, if it was anyone else, I'd say it's a risky move. But I don't want to say it was a risky move. I think these 3 machines are so dominant, I think they'll still get it on old tires, Evan. I don't think this was a bad call on their part at all.
I'm going to disagree with you. Everybody else came down, so they have no buffer. They got no buffer right now until you get back to the Ryan Borges machine, who's going to be the first car off of pit road on the fresh tires. So, in theory, Borges is going to be P4. Showing right now, Chris Cable is in that position. That is the driver of the number 05 machine. Want to confirm that it was the Craftsman Chevrolet that did beat Ryan Borges off of pit lane, and that is correct. So, we saw how fast those guys were, PD, compared to guys on no tires. They're now going to be on the opposite end of that. almost having to play the defense again. Gonna have to survive about 42, 43 more laps on this restart against the entire rest of the field that is on 4 tires, as opposed to just 3 cars like everybody else had to deal with. I don't know how this is gonna work out for Brooks and Kelly's.
It's gonna work out just fine, because I was pulled up an odd statistic that I think you guys will join. So Brooks, on the end of the longest run when he stayed out, they had around 45 laps on the tires. This was the last lap on the green flag run. On the last lap, he ran at 18.435. The next dominant car, so that was him on old tires earlier. So he ran at 18.435. To put this into perspective, Ryan Borges, his best lap of the whole event was an 18.468. So Brooks on really old tires was still 31 thousandths faster than Ryan Borges. So even on old tires,
if it's not them, somebody else could have punched their ticket. We're working under a caution flag right now. Again, doubled up, coming up for restart here. That was going to feature the 33 and the 3 on the front row, the 50, the 05, and then Ryan Borges. So the 05 and the 32 going to be the first cars on tires. Let's see how much dividends this does pay out. Pace car down to pit road. Restart coming up. 41 laps to go. Green flag back in the air. Top 2 single file out. Side by side for third to the bottom goes Casey Kelly on Chris Cable.
Yeah, so he is clear. Give it to Casey Kelly. Although Cable, never mind. Cable's going to force the hole up there, and he's going to try to stick with him. Although Casey Kelly, with a lot less damaged car, he's going to get clear almost. Casey Kelly keeps getting so close, getting clear. I think he was clear that time, but Cable's put his car up there. So give it to Casey Kelly. Kelly is going forward here as Cable's going to try to stick in the line here. And the top 2 are starting to pull away a little bit. Casey Kelly not as much. But remember, he's on older tires, although I don't think it's going to make too much of a difference being the late model and that these drivers have just been so significantly faster tonight. They should be okay. Although Cable and Borges are hanging around. They're not catching them, but they're sure hanging around a little bit here, Evan.
Going to be fun to see how these top 3 cars react. 05 car sideways, hangs on to it. It's Chris Cable. That opens up the door. Borges to the outside, though. Not sure if that's going to work out for him. If anything, I feel like that may hurt him because the 24 of Brandon Otto right behind him may try to go through in the bottom and follow Chris Cable back through. Borges pinching the 05 down. Cable slid up in the 3, and it is going to be an advantage to Chris Cable at the start-finish line that time through. Ryan Borges, though, still hanging tough on the outside lane. Not sure, though, if he'll be able to complete that pass speed. So far tonight, seems like the bottom is the place to be.
It has been the place to be tonight here, Evan, although the outside's been just as good, so I almost disagree with that one, as though it seemed to have been the place to be. We've seen more passes on the outside, I think. If you want to defend your position, you run low, but if you want to make passes, you run high. We have seen tonight a lot of outside racing passes, unless it's just drivers letting them go. So Ryan Borges is trying to get around on the outside here from the multi-groove New Smyrna Raceway. And he's starting to make ground up on this 05 Chris Cable. So once again, we're seeing the outside lane work. And here goes Borges with a great run on the outside. Will he be able to clear Cable? And it's going to be close here. He's not quite clear, but I think he'll be able to get him this time, as it's actually going to be closer at the line. But Borges definitely has the advantage off the corner with the run-wise. And each corner he's getting closer and closer, and I have to believe this corner he's going to get clear. Ryan Borges is clear of Chris Cable. Did it on the outside like we've seen done a lot tonight.
24 takes a peek to the inside for 4th, or rather for 5th position. It is the Brandon Otto machine, the iRacing memes holiday Christmas car, whatever. It's got SpongeBob and a whole other cast of characters on that machine. But he's now trying to work over the 05 of Chris Cable. Looks like the 24 car trying to find a spot, or at least set up a position that he can make it past. The 5 of James Linkowitz way overdrove quarter number 3. Has to be able to get back to the throttle and get back on it. He remains in 8th position. And the 24 goes low. He's going to have to hit the 05 of Chris Cable. 1, 2, 3 times up the hill, and hanging on to it is the driver of the 05, Chris Cable. No caution, we stay green. However, he will drop back now to what's going to be a battle for 10th with Al Smith Jr. He'll clear him and be able to hang on to a 9th spot, but that could be a lot longer. Now the 96 of Al Smith Jr. gets hit by the 57, sideways in the corner. Smith going to hang on to it after the 57 of Myers got into him. Still green on the racetrack after everything going haywire.
Oh my word, that was a tight situation there, as the 96 machine does hang on along with Chris Cable. So we saw a lot of hanging on down there, although we're going to get ready for some more racing up front. The Kelly machines are tight and close together as Justin Brooks starting to pull away a little bit, so that team is 1, 2, 3, 7 right now. I'm sure they want to get the 1, 2, 3 though, and have no one interview about their team tonight, and really there's no one to challenge them. Even on old tires, they're still significantly faster than everyone else. So here's a good example. In third right now, Cody Kelly is running the worst of the teammates. He is 18.466 this time by the stripe. And in comparison, Ryan Borges in the 32 this time by ran an 18.548. So they're still a tenth faster than everyone else, even on old tires tonight, Evan.
So clearly the strategy that they have opted to go with is working at the moment. Brooks and Kelly, or Kelly number 1, we'll say, the driver of the 50, Casey Kelly, who sits second right now, essentially identical lap times that last time by. We do have a caution flag at a racetrack around in 3 and 4. Down low is the 57 of Cody Myers. Yellow flag is out, and it looks like the 57 car was going through quarters number 1 and 2 and had a wheel malfunction. We're hearing over the radio, PD, that thing just stopped turning in the middle of the corner. It drove straight up into the outside wall, and then he brought it down to the inside lane, stopped it on the apron, and because he had actually stopped on the racing surface, it brought out a yellow. So that caution, obviously the 57 was having some issues, but don't really agree with stopping on the racetrack and getting a caution trying to get off the racetrack, though. I feel like that could have been easily avoided.
I have to disagree with you there, Evan. I think if he would have just simply stopped, he had to stop somewhere. Remember, he had no control over his wheel, but he did have control over his shifter and pedals from what I've heard. So he looks as though what he did was he tried to stop his car, didn't want to stop it on the back stretch in the middle of traffic, so he stopped it in 3 and 4. And he could have easily reset quickly, but I think he was concerned that the leaders were going to come around and hit him, so what he did was he shifted his car in reverse, got down to the apron, and avoided what could have been detrimental to the leaders. So I think he did some good heads-up driving there with no wheel. Sadly, he did bring out a caution, though, and he's going to go multiple laps down. Maybe his wheel won't even be able to work here. It's going to be yet another caution, and it's going to be Brooks and the Kelly brothers for 1, 2, 3. So with just over 25, with just under actually now 25 laps to go, Evan, who do you think is going to bring home the checker flag tonight? I am going to go with the wild card pick here, Justin Brooks II.
PD once again taking his signature wild card pick and taking the race leader to take it all. I was really thinking that those guys that had pitted on this last time, yeah, PD's taking the Jacob Seelman round, he's taking the guy that's in the lead. I was really thinking of the guys that came down pit road on that last cycle would be able to put up a challenge for it. They still got to have about 25 laps or so, maybe 24, 23, once we get back green flag racing. How much of that will be under green flag conditions is going to be the question, because once we get to this point in the races where things can get very, very exciting. But I'm going to have to go with the 33 as well of Justin Brooks at this point, simply because of the fact that we saw the Casey Kelly guys, Casey as well as Cody, battling in second and third, dead even. 33 faster than all of them. If we see speed out of Borges, who's fourth, and Noto, that is fifth, again, those are the first guys that pitted on the last cycle, maybe they have a shot if they get a bunch of quick yellows. And, the 33 doesn't get an opportunity to get away. Like, they get one spot, quick yellow, get another spot, quick yellow, then they're on that second row, then they can fight for it. But if this race has any sort of a green flag run, I think that it's going to be the 33 of Justin Brooks as well, who's going to be able to lock it up in his short track racing network, ElliottRealty.com Chevrolet.
Yeah, and he's going for his third one on the season on Justin Brooks. I don't know if you remember this, Evan, but last week we brought Justin Brooks down. I believe he finished second or third. It might have been second, I think. Anyways, no, it was third. We brought him down for an interview, and you asked him, he said, Justin, how do you feel going next week into New Smyrna? And his exact words were, well, I'm going to win that race. There's no question about it. New Smyrna's my best track. And we were like, okay, Justin, we'll see you next week in Victory Lane, I guess. And he certainly called a shot.
Green flag back in the air, side by side for the lead. The 50 car crosses over Justin Brooks at a quarter number 2, and to the bottom goes Casey Kelly, side by side for the top spot. These lanes have been pretty evenly matched throughout the night. 33 car with a great run catches the fence. Brooks going to have it, and he will get clear with a spectacular run out of the quarter. Borges has been forced to go to the high side in the 32 car. The 3 on the bottom of Cody Kelly now hanging on, and that's the battle for third.
Yeah, so Borges hanging on tough with the least dominant of these 3 teammates all night. Borges for line on the outside. He's certainly making some ground up on him. Can Borges get clear of the 3? It's going to be close, but Borges is in the wall there. So even with the perfect lane right now, it's going to be tough for Ryan Borges to get by him. And Brandon Odo is going to look to fill up the hole on the inside. So can Odo... Oh, Borges hard on the wall there, and that's just basically going to hand the position to Cody Kelly. Unless Borges can make some sort of significant run on the outside, Cody Kelly clear. And with Brandon Odo underneath him, Borges can have no chance at a crossover. So make it 1-2-3 again for them, as Brandon Odo is going to battle with Borges, and Borges is falling back quickly here. He has not had the speed he had hoped.
Borges is and has been working with rather significant damage on the left side of that race car as well, trying to fight through that, show some attrition, but just not going to be able to work entirely for him. So the 24 car has gotten to the bottom, and that again, as we said, is the Brandon Odo machine. 24 with the bobble, slides up the racetrack, catches Ryan Borges, hangs on to it. 41 goes low, 24 still trying to hang on. He gets moved up into the outside wall now. Back down, 3 wide, contact the 5 of James Linkowitz, sideways, and still they hang on and no caution.
Everyone lives. Don't know how, but they did. So Brandon Odo is going to lose 2 positions, I believe. No, only 1, and he's going to fall back to 6. Miraculously only loses 1, I should add, as we have still
Oh,
down
the 05 car contacted around. There he goes. That's Chris Cable. Big wreck. The 5 of James Linkowitz got put up into the outside wall after a bobble from the 05, and Cable tried to walk it up the hill and just drove the 5 car all the way to the outside retaining wall. They both made contact. The 5 car, obviously the 05 slammed him into the fence, so the 05 around the 5 hit the fence pretty hard. Back under yellow we go, PD. Just shy of 10 to go. We saw the 50 was able to get to the bottom. Wasn't able to pass them, but we know it's possible to at least put up a fight for it. Nothing says that they can't have the... Don't even got to clear them. Just have a nose at the start-finish line, either at the checkers or at a yellow that's within the final 5 to go, possibly. And they could easily steal this race. Borges up to 4th.
Yeah, and right now we're going to have the number 50 machine of Casey Kelly in second. I think he's going to have a good shot at Justin Brooks Kelly. I know we don't know a lot about him, but from racing, iRacing official, I personally know he's one of the better short track racers you will find around. So Justin Brooks called his shot, and Casey Kelly is going to try to take it against him here. Justin Brooks certainly wants to get to that pink victory lane we see on the front stretch, but I mean, he's going to have a tough time getting there. His teammate Casey Kelly certainly is going to show no teammate love here. The JGR machine is definitely going to battle with him. Brooks has had a great car all night, but it's going to be really difficult for him to hang on because he has a lot more damage, if you guys have noticed, than the number 50 machine. So Kelly is going to have to do a lot of hard work. He's going to have to get help from his brother even. Cody Kelly's going to have to help him make a hole maybe, get by Justin Brooks up here.
14 cars sit on the lead lap right now. Andre Baudouin sits in 15th, 1 lap down in the 97 machine. So he would have the opportunity to maybe get a wave run if we were to get a quick yellow, possibly gain a few spots on what would be a final restart. Again, if a caution flag is to fly within the final 4 laps of this race, we will end under caution flag conditions. So coming off of this restart, it'll give us 1 opportunity to get a quick yellow in these first 4 laps of green flag action to set us up for a late race restart. Other than that, we have to go green through, or this race would end under yellow flag condition again if we were to get an incident within those final 4 laps.
Yeah. Don't count out anyone right now. I think it happened. These top 3 could wreck each other. Now, it's highly unlikely because they're teammates. But anything is possible. So it could happen here. We do not know. We will be able to talk to the top 3 soon after this race. But the real question is, who is going to be the top 3 as we get 1 to green here? They're doubling up. Usually what teammates will do in TeamSpeak is they'll count each other down so everyone can get a good restart and get ahead of the other cars. It's going to be hard for Brooks to count them down. As much as he wants them to get in front of Ryan Borges and Brandon Odo, he's not going to be able to, because if he does, he's going to give them a clear advantage of him.
Well, here we go. Restart coming up with what's going to be about 9 laps to go. Pace car with the lights off, dives down to pit road. Justin Brooks gone, green flag there. A great restart for the 3 of Cody Kelly, already with a half a car length advantage over his brother up on the high side as Casey gets a shot from the 32 of Borges, but he's not giving up. Side by side still for second.
Yeah, and they were racing side by side here for the second position. The Kelly brothers showing their brother live. Caution is out. We're going to get another restart here. This caution is towards the back. Joshua Cotton is around. in corner number 2. So that'll bring out the caution with number 4, John Deere machine getting around. And the 4 of Joshua Cotton just got pile drive by league owner Al Smith of the 96, and that just sent him around. And by pile drive, I mean he's got straight up ran into the back of there, Evan.
Yeah, the Al Smith Jr. entry was turning to the left, but that's the best executed dump I've seen. I mean, got obviously sideways to 96, was going fine, then 72 turned right into the left rear of Al, which kind of got him off balance and kind of got stuck on the left rear of the 4 car and really had nowhere to go at that point, but kind of just looked like he rode that left rear all the way to the fence, but it did get kind of triggered by the 79, and then Al kind of slid up the hill, put himself in a 5 in the wall with some minor damage in that, but obviously sending around was the number 4 of Joshua Cotton, who was a top 3 car, but he could go all the way at the 14th for the final restart of this race. So it's another one of our drivers that had a good night at the start of it, and much like many short track races, at the end of 150 laps, the car's not going to look quite as nice, and neither will the position on the scoring pylon from many of the competitors.
No, and we're going to have some great battling, though. It's going to be well under 5 to go, I believe, like 3 or 2 to go. It's just going to be insane here, folks. Brooks, the 2-time winner of the season, is going to take the points lead. Remember, point leader Matt Wright is somewhere in the middle of that big snowstorm in the middle of central Michigan. His airplane simply could not take off. He tried everything, but the skies were too clogged, so our points leader isn't here. And second in points, Justin Brooks is really close with Brandon Odo, but it's going to be Brooks, if he can hang on, that will take over the points. Remember, if anything happens to Brooks, he will lose many positions, I'm saying, basically, if he gets into an incident here late, and he'll be passed by Brandon Odo and more, so this points race definitely isn't over. Now, is it unlikely that he gets turned around? Yes, because Odo's 2 teammates behind him, but we've seen everything happen. I mean, it's late in the race, they're going for a win. I don't think teammates mean much right now.
And again, these guys are battling for points, but the real objective is top 12. After tonight, 3 races to go before the eligible drivers for the championship gets cut down from everybody that's out there on track to 12 drivers. That will have 5 races to battle for the championship. They'll be at Concord, Langley, Stafford, Lucas Oil, and Bristol for the final 5 races in the chase for the championship. Final restart, though, coming up here, 3 laps to go. And it is going to be Justin Brooks to control. Caution flag against it if it flies before the white flag. Rolling through quarter number 2. Again, final time. Everybody's going to be grouped back up. There's a 33 capitalized. Do we make it to the white flag? Do we finish under green? Do we pile them in? It is going to be, though, that Fast Track Sims ElliottRealty.com machine, that 33 Chevrolet of Justin Brooks in control. Pace car ducks out of the way for the final time tonight. Green flag in the air, and off goes the 33. The 50 car once again get a challenge for a second. That's Casey Kelly on the bottom of Cody Kelly. Bobble the 3
Cody
car,
in the wall.
and Cody Kelly hard in the outside walls. Keeps it going forward. 41 hard in the fence as well. And going to get turned by the 3.
Caution.
Around goes Cody Parker. Caution flag is out.
79
Huge
turn.
wreck down the back
79
straight away. And Justin Brooks going to take home the checkered flag as he takes 2 to go under the yellow flag conditions.
Oh my goodness. The 79.
That escalated quickly.
If you see the replay going up, 79 of Kevin Baker was about to have a career night. He was going to get top 5, but he was turned under caution by James Linkowitz, Evan. It just, there's tough breaks, then there's that. And this will make our top 3. Justin Brooks in his 3rd win on the season. 2nd, Casey Kelly. And Ryan Board just got grandfathered into the position that Cody Kelly held all night, so we saw a big shakeup here.
And by the way, it is some colorful language over the radio on behalf of the 97, as we would come to expect. Obviously, after getting dumped under caution flight conditions, we've seen that in some other leagues as well, where incidents happen where a caution flag flies, you get wrecked by the checkup, and there's nothing that they can do for you. You're going to drop back to the tail end of the lead lap. Essentially, Kevin Baker finds himself in 9th. So not as bad as it could be, but a lot worse than it was. Final time, white flag in the air, and it's going to be the checkered and the yellow. This time by at quarter number 4, checkered flag in the air, and the MP Roy Incorporated 150 for the New Smyrna Speedway. Give it to Justin Brooks.
Yeah, and that's going to be a great win there for the Justin Brooks team, followed by Cody Kelly in 2nd. Actually, Casey Kelly, Ryan Borch in 3rd. We will talk to all 3 of them, but first we're going to set a commercial break. We will see you on the other end, folks.
Same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention, that
Back
was over
live tonight for the new
45,000.
Smyrna Speedway with Season 4 of the Upstate Racing League. The Lake City RC Speedway Pro Late Model Series comes to a close for Round 7. The MP Roy Incorporated 150 is in the books, and after 150 laps, it is going to be the driver of the 33, Justin Brooks, who takes it home in victory lane. And caught up down on pit road with the driver of the number 32 car is PDJ Zeller.
Oh, Ryan Borges, you finished third tonight here. You had a great run. Yes, we saw you make some interesting strategy at the end that shuffled you back towards the fourth position. You came back and got a position in that wreck. What was it like to finish third tonight, Borges?
Well, coming in, I wasn't expecting a third place. I was just hoping for a top 10 because I really only got about 3 laps of practice on the track. But it was a good race. It was solid. I avoided pretty much all the major wrecks. I was in a couple wrecks early, but was able to survive it, get up to the front on strategy, and use that to get back on sequence with tires, and was able to keep it up there.
Borges, you are immediately getting in an airplane to go drive your Legends machine. What's it going to be like changing the cars, and what airliner are you using?
It shouldn't be. I want to say it's going to be hard, but it shouldn't be too difficult to adjust. I mean, I run these cars a lot on iRacing, so it shouldn't be too hard. But I'm not expecting to be super fast over there either. Just hoping to survive and get the most points as possible for my team over there. And also in terms of teams, I got to thank Brandon Smizer, Brandon Wilkinson, TJ Graves, and Matt Swanson for the help and the working together tonight. And oh yeah, I forgot about the airliner. The airliner, I guess I'll be flying Zeller Airlines. I don't know.
All right, you can fly with me and Evan down there. We got to get going. Actually, really quick, you answered my next question. Who are you going to thank? So thank you for joining us, Borges. Just hope to see you running good in the next race and further in the season. And talk to you later.
All right, thanks, Speedy. And one more thing, I gotta just thank JD Marketing too.
All right, JD Marketing. All right, see you later, Borges.
Thank you.
All right, meanwhile, in Victory Lane, Evan Pasoko is caught up with Justin Brooks on his third race of the season, and the champagne is flying, and so is Justin Brooks, and Evan's down there with Brooks.
Well, he took the first 2 points races of the year and makes it back to victory lane for race 7 points-wise tonight for the new Smyrna Speedway. He called it. He takes home the checkered flag tonight. And after starting in 10th, Justin, you sealed the deal on a little bit of pit strategy. You had some tires there. You guys up front came down pit road, and you guys were able to hang on. How'd you get the job done?
Well, like you said, it's strategy. I want to thank James Linkiewicz. His brother Jacob was on top of the pit box tonight calling the shots, and he told us to come down pit road, get some tires, and we did it. And we restarted 14th and drove through the field. I mean, that thing was on a rail. I mean, I was hoping it was going to go green to the end. We had to worry about it. I was going to catch Ryan or pass him, but caution come out, and we decided very last second, all of us stay out. All of us team cars, me, Casey, and Cody, we all stayed out, and everyone else pitted. But you know, our cars, I guess, were fast enough to hold them off. It felt like. I mean, I felt like my car was good, even a little bit of front end damage I had from earlier race with Chris Cable when he hit the wall. And I mean, it was on the rail tonight. I mean, I love that damn racetrack. That's why I called it last week. I mean, I wasn't trying to brag or anything like that, but I just love the racetrack. And coming in tonight, starting 10th or whatever, I mean, I just honestly didn't expect to win. I just expected, you know, to try to beat her at the end because Casey was real fast. Casey and Cody. Casey was hella fast in practice, running lap times faster than me, if not even most of the race. And they really impressed me tonight. I want to give a shout out to them for heck of a job tonight. It was so much fun racing them and racing everybody else tonight.
You guys tied at the top of the practice speeds with an 18.124 respectively. You take home the trophy though. The 50 car got to your inside on one of those late restarts. You were able to hold them off and you take home the checker. Our final race was tonight for the 2014 campaign. So we go into 2 off weeks. Next race going to be at South Boston. So first question I guess would be, what kind of momentum does this mean for you and you guys? How you're going to be sitting away from the racetrack for a few weeks, but on a positive note. And then what are your thoughts going to go into Sobo coming up for our next race?
We're same thing going in this race. So looking to go out there and score as many points as they can, lead as many laps as I can, and get that trophy there at the end. I mean, we're gonna do whatever we can, whatever it takes to do it. I mean, Sobo's a lot harder to pass on. It's gonna be a lot more, just trying to survive there than it is here. But we're gonna like I said, go in there and get the win again. I don't know, but it's gonna be a fun race next week. Not next week. Sorry, I'm all right. I gotta remember it's 2015, January 8th, I believe it is. It's gonna be a fun race.
Justin, before we let you get back down to the team and decide where you're going to put this third trophy for the year on that shelf for the hauler, sponsors and shout-outs as always. Who makes this possible?
Oh, yeah. All the guys at Will and Dillon Motorsports. Without them, I couldn't do any of this. So all their support. I want to thank Short Track Racing Network, Fast Track Sins, Elliott Realty, Justin Brooks Designs, Big Old Racing, Double Clutch, Chevrolet. I want to thank all them guys for coming on board, supporting me, sponsoring me this whole season so far, and hopefully we can bring more trophies. And all you guys at LSR for your great broadcast. Like I said, I love being interviewed by you guys. I mean, hopefully I can get more of them down the road here and get some consistent finishes, and like I said, bring home this championship. That's my goal.
Well, that championship is coming up, and you have definitely solidified that number 33 machine as one of the favorites. So again, thank you for the kind words. Thanks for taking a moment to talk to us, Justin, and enjoy the holidays here, and we'll see you in January.
Thank you. You too.
That is tonight's winner, Justin Brooks. Petey, before we head off, we got our second part of our Thursday night short track racing doubleheader coming up. So for everybody that wants to check that out, the SARA Clash for Castle Star Invitational coming up before we head off the air and get set for that one. Petey, final thoughts from New Smyrna.
We saw a spectacular race tonight, and I am glad we got to be here tonight, and I can't wait to get back with the series. But Evan, our airplane's about to take off, and Borges is calling our name. We gotta go.
That is it from tonight. So 150 laps later, it's going to be positive 9 spots after starting on the outside of row 5. Justin Brooks is your winner tonight. Casey Kelly and Ryan Borges round out the top 3. Want to thank everybody at the LSRTV crew tonight. PDJ Zeller up in the broadcast booth. Laura Lawson, as always, down on the production hauler there, getting us on air. Our in-race reporter, who we only had one opportunity to speak with the driver of the 48, Alex Levy, the Canadian, or rather the American-Canadian Tour for 2014, their champion. A lot of the guys, new faces in tonight's race as well. Everybody have a great holiday season. We're going to see you in 3 weeks' time on January the 8th when we go racing from South Boston.